Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the podcast of Action Required Media. Here we are dedicated to discussing hard truths and finding remedies for our problems. On this platform, we will stay engaged on all happenings in Mama Liberia, not limited to politics, religion, development, economy, security, crimes, war on illegal drugs, employment, youth, growth, food production. To this discussion, we will be discussing our nation, Mama Liberia. Today's topic is so we here to discuss Unity Party and Congress for Democratic Change, CDC and UP, accomplishments and criticism, our frustrations, and then we also here to discuss which is the best alternative, UP, CDC, or a new political party for next election. Where can CDC and UP find common ground? To discuss with me, ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host, Joseph Brown. Please, you are welcome to Action Required Media. We say please like and share the show. We have interesting panelists here today to discuss these sensitive issues. At this time, I will go to we'll start our introduction. We're going to go to Mr. Christian Zibo. He will introduce himself, his name, and then we go to Edwin Saipor. Listen, gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Thank you
Christian.
very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Brown. My name is Christian Zibo, and I'm happy to be on this show to share with my fellow panelists on the best solution for our country problems. So I look forward to a better and successful discussion. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Christian. And then we go to Edwin Saipor. Edwin.
Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Again, I'm excited to join this panelist. My name is Edwin Seiport Jr. I'm a writer. Um, I'm excited for the topics that we have today to discuss. Again, trying to pinpoint issues that are pertinent to Liberia. It's very important because our heart is closed, even though we've been in the diaspora for this long. But I think it's kind of warms my heart every Sunday to at least chat about things to throw ideas back and forth. So I'm excited to be on this panel today. Thank you, guys.
All right, now we'll go over to Titus and Sam, and then followed by Dr. Waller. Sam. Can you guys hear us? We're not hearing you guys.
Okay, good, good. We were muted. Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Want to say thanks to Joe again for giving us this opportunity to be on this platform. My name is Sam Wuse, or Liberian, and I'm striving for a peaceful world, free of violence and inequality. The betterment of Liberia remain our paramount concern. Thank you.
All right, Titus.
Yeah, and I'm Titus Cooper. Uh, Glad to be back with you guys on this panel today, discussing things concerning Liberia, and I look forward to a fruitful and engaging conversation.
Thank you. And Dr. Waller.
Hey, Joe.
Yeah.
Oh yes, that I want to go. I wanted to get the Facebook page to share it, but I
Okay,
can see it.
I will
But
share
yeah,
to
but
the link to the WhatsApp link, and then you
okay.
can share from there. All right, Dr. Waller.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. It's a pleasure being here. Um, I'm happy, Sam. I love your introduction. Striving for a better world without violence. I like that. But I'm looking forward to the conversation today. Um, it's always a pleasure to be here to discuss our country and the way forward. Today's topic is very important and interesting, and so I look forward to that. And I want to encourage you. You come across our video you're watching right now. Please share it. Send us your comments, how we can make our platform better. Yeah, thank you guys. I look forward to the discussion.
All right. Thanks, gentlemen, for being here today. Today's uh topic topics are very
Hey Joe, one
interesting.
second. Dada
Go
Water,
ahead.
your video is kind of
Yes.
your video is kind of buffering. Yeah, Dada
Yeah.
Water, you coming in
So
broken. Joe said
yeah,
you gotta check your video too.
Yeah, I'm seeing that with bro Joe as well.
you
Yes,
seen it with me?
yes.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with.
It happened to me right now.
Yeah, you kind of, yeah, it happening to you right now.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
will change my setting later on. Sorry, gentlemen. And again, gentlemen, like I said, we are here to discuss serious issues pertaining to Mama Liberia, CDC, UP, and new political parties. Now, we understand that UP has been a ruling party. So this 6 years will make them 18 years as a ruling party in Liberia, while CDC has only earned 6 years. Now we're going to do comparative analysis. We're going to compare the achievement or the accomplishment, and we will also discuss the criticism. Gentlemen, anybody here want to talk more about CDC or UP accomplishment? Anybody want to go?
You mean are you trying to let all takes out like I
No.
mean,
So
or we
so
just
if
doing it in
any
general?
any accomplishment that you know about us
So so
UP
so Joe,
party.
before we go forward, Joe, are we discussing UP of general? We're not discussing the last 2 years or
No, we're
UP of the
discussing
12 years.
everything from the
UP of the
existence.
12 years.
There is the existence that to 12 to
Are we
now.
discussing any administration or Joseph Boakai?
We can discuss both if you want to, but let's discuss Joseph Braga compared to the last presidential election. Yeah,
Okay, good.
Joseph Braga.
Go ahead, Christian.
Do you want to say anything, Christian?
I was just is it me or I was just asking whether we got to take a side, like what are you going to be like pros and cons. But what's from my own analysis, what I would say is that uh, with the issue of politics, I'm speaking from a liberal point. I'm not a politician wherein I don't have a side in terms of political party in our country. But I'm speaking as a Liberian who love my country, who love the people, who love the various dimensions of our settings. Every government or every politicians come in with their own of platform. That is what they tell people they want to do. I would not tell you that CDC did not have achievement. They did a lot. Only that they had their own default at the end. But then, if we are to compare note with that of the Unity Party that is just, I can say a year and a half, I don't see any comparison so far because Unity Party, if we are to look at it from the Joseph Boakai government, they have their promises they made to the Liberian people, and those promises they have not achieved any of it. But looking at the time they still got, we give them benefit of the doubt. But I think if I would not say CDC got more achievement than Joseph Boakai because Joseph Boakai government just started, and we will expect them to do better.
Okay. All right. So that's why you
So
start.
let me come in real quick.
Go ahead, Edwin.
Um, and so when it comes to the political party in Liberia, I'm completely disaligned with any political party, and also I'm also disillusioned. In as much as we have our the best university crumbling down, unemployment, all this, I cannot grade or downgrade or pros or cons for any of the political party right now. The only reason I'm on these channels on the panel is for all the shine a light so we can look for a different alternative, a solution-based alternative for Liberia. But as far as these two parties, they are all out of negative for me. Any other party that have been existing in our country they're all in the negative for me. That's where I stand.
But Sam, to be real, there are some accomplishments that each party have had during the time of ruling. So if we comparing Ellen or Joseph Burka term, I would say for Joseph Burka, the only thing I would give Joseph Burka right now, I would look at the expansion of electricity. Okay, the expansion of electricity is going pretty well in Liberia. Awesome. So I can say that is an achievement, even though he haven't had
So
the full term.
we have a lot of UP and CDC 2 Cs on this panel. So why is God so quiet, like a wedding proposal in Sudan, like you need 10 cows when you ask for the accomplishment? Because nobody can point to anything.
No,
That's how
it's
it got so
So
quiet.
no,
What kind of accomplishment you talking about? Because
I
now
will come to the
they
sedition part.
it's not about us arguing. We gotta give somebody a chance to speak before somebody can come in and say something. He just point out Joseph Baga achievement. If you try to say that, we can come out and say, okay, this is what Joria has done. So we gotta give him chance to finish. Then everybody
Yeah. So
put their
and,
platform up.
and then one more accomplishment for Joseph Barker, I would say the anti-corruption effort in Liberia, where they were tracking down corruptions. But I don't know how on what scale has it been very effective. But that's some of his accomplishment. And to be honest with you, I think the electricity is the biggest right now compared to poverty rate and other stuff. But we so with the road infrastructure, I've not seen anything yet from Joseph Boakai. Okay, I know he just got into office, but maybe after his 6 years, and we can see something and talk about it. But we can point to a lot of stuff from George Weah. I would say the CDC greatest accomplishment is George Weah turning power over. Okay, on a 1% loss of election. I think that's the greatest achievement for CDC. But we can come down to other baby stuff and talk about the parks and other stuff. But I'll give time to Tato. What do you want to come in up? Tato, you want to talk?
Yeah. Thank you again,
Okay.
Joseph.
Yeah.
Before that what comes in,
All right.
in having these discussions, it's important that we try to be very fair and be very honest and be
Yeah.
objective. Um, I believe that doing a comparative analysis with both administration, one I've just have less than 2 years, and the other one has 6 years. It's a bit unfair, but based on platform, I think for the sake of this discussion, we can go ahead and do that. So both governments have had some good things, but more bad things. And I'm
Yes.
saying in regards to the platform that they presented to the Liberian people. First of all, I would like to look at George Weah, CDC leadership. They came into power based on the propaganda of a grassroots party, a party that was going to be there for the people, a party that was going to liberate the people from the ghettos and from the slums. How you do that? They had a pro prosperity agenda, and that agenda, for all indication, did not yield any fruits over the 6 years. Good things. Um, they went ahead and started to do a lot of feeder road developments, um, which was good to the people. But at the end of the day, we found out that those road developments funds were diverted because of fee or kickbacks. People wanted kickbacks. So at the end of the day, there were a lot of substandard roads. Roads were built. They will tell you that roads were built, but those roads are substandard. Today, most of the roads are facing serious issues because most of the companies that were water contracts had linked with individuals and governments, and there was a lot of conflict of interest. Um, let's go to the recreation. They did well by building recreation. But again, we later found out that the company was linked to officials of government that did the recreation. And today, the money that being collected for no recreation parks are going in the pockets of individuals. So there's a problem. Let's go to job creation. The CDC administration came to power to create jobs for the ordinary people, both skilled and unskilled jobs. And based on records, they created far less than what was indicated in the proper agenda. So, on a general scale, over the 6 years, few individuals benefited from the city government that were those that were aligned to power. We noticed that people came into power in less than 6 months. They were building their mansions for themselves and their family, while the ordinary people continued to suffer. And we believe that as a government, you should be able to prioritize the people. The people should be able to benefit before you can start benefiting your pockets. So in general, I believe the city government was a failure, and we can go to the current administration 2 years. Joseph Butler came with the um, Arise agenda that includes agricultural rules and what have you. The arrest agenda,
Yeah,
yeah,
the rest
arrest,
agenda.
not right, the arrest agenda.
Yeah.
The arrest agenda, so far, there are a lot of issues. They are doing some good things. Let's go to the good things. In terms of electricity, they are expanding electricity. But again, the people have to pay for those electricity. How you expect them to pay when people are still making 150, people are making $100? So how do you expect them to pay for electricity? In terms of water, they are expanding water supplies to the leeward counties. But again, the people have to pay for the services. So why it is good that they are creating all of those necessity for the people, it is important that the economy should be shifted in a way that the people can have money in their pockets to pay for those services. And they also talk about agriculture. Today, agriculture is one means that we can create jobs. But today, we are still importing rice. 95% of our table food is being imported. I think in 2 years, we should be able to see a program, we should be able to see a structure that can be able to, you know, start seeing farms in places that Lofa, Lofa is the breadbasket of our nation. We should be able to see companies coming and start building farms and stuff. We want to see, we know that it's 6 years, but you have had 2 years. So we just want to see that plan. Want to see what is available. Let's say maybe you can say in the next 4 years we'll be having our first production, of rice, of different products. But pepper still coming from places like Guinea and Ivory Coast. So agriculture, again, they fail. It could be one means that the government can create or a job through agriculture by bringing companies, people to work on farms and stuff like that. So they fail in that aspect, you know. And also job creation. Again, I just mentioned job creation is a serious problem. So again, generally, the people are not still feeling the impact of the government over the last 2 years.
Okay.
While it is true that they are doing some good things that are just listed, like electricity and expanding water and doing roads. They are doing roads to most of the projects, but we are very, very, very hopeful that those roads will be of good quality. We hope that funds will not be diverted into the pockets of people again. So
Okay.
looking at the two governments, we still think that the Liberian people, are still dissatisfied with it. And I, as a Liberian, I'm also still dissatisfied. Let's take up all the jacket of being a CDC or
Okay.
UPs. We are still dissatisfied. Thank you.
All right, gentlemen. So this what we'll do, right? So we can have a good engagement. I think we will limit ourselves to maybe 2 minutes in response. So at least we can go around
Okay.
real fast, so we can be able to exhaust what's on the agenda today. All right, Tadas, you want to comment on anything?
Yeah, sure. Let me see what I have to say. Comparing the then CDC government to that of the Unity Party, to make a more comparative analysis of the two, I would take the first 2 years of CDC and compare it to the current 2 years of the Unity Party. What are some of the things that the CDC then got engaged in? What are some of the things that we saw them do? And then what are some of the things that we see this government doing in their 2 years, right? So once you do that, you will have a fair appreciation as to the where the two government decided to go, and you can prejudge the outcome of their government, if they will be a failure, if because I consider CDC government as a failure, and then I can also do a prejudgment of the United Party government to see if they will end up being a failure or if they will make some strides. So back to the issue. So in 2 years, when CDC ascended to power, the first 6 months to a year, what did we see? We saw people amassing wealth for themselves and building their personal condominiums and properties, acquiring properties, right? This government, the first year, what do we see? We see the government making strides to build roads, like telling government making commitment to the populace that look, there wouldn't be cars stuck in on major roads. So all through year round you can be able to travel from point A to point B, and that will have a trickle down effect on the people. And we did see the government make strides. I just listened to Honorable Zoe Payne today, and then he was saying that prices have been very stabilized in Grand Judea and other parts of the southeast because of the accessibility of the area. People can leave from Monrovia to go to Grand Judea or in other southeastern counties within a daytime, and you can either go there to and fro in a daytime. That's a plus, right? And then those basic commodities in the first 2 years of the then CDC government, we saw how some of these basic commodities were scarce. They didn't have price control. People could hoard those commodities and create artificial shortages, and people were standing online for gas and rice. But this government, we see some maturity and some stability in the price and the availability. We don't see people standing online for rice, or we don't see them standing online to buy gas. All right. Even though there are some global dynamics that are playing, but they are still been able to maintain those resources and at a very steady price too, very affordable. Let's look at the rate, the U.S. rate is coming down, all right. And then also let's look at the availability of electricity. Okay, electricity is stable. Back then, in the last first 2 years of Joshua, it was non-existent. Now, all year round, people are experiencing the availability of electricity. Now they are expanding to leeward counties and finding different avenues to generate
Okay.
electricity. So we don't have to generate on or focus on the hydro or the generator approach. We're using solar now. We're trying to have a discussion on different other methods or using waste and other methods or to generate electricity. Those are innovations that did not exist. And we're seeing that the government is progressing in a way that things that really matter to the people, they are engaging them. Are there still issues? There are issues. That's why last week when we spoke about the country, I was saying Liberia had just been a country with a whole lot of problems. So when even our government is making strides or leadership is making strides, there will be competing interests. So you focus on one thing, and then the other thing appears to be left undone. And then the people, once the people don't feel that impact, they tend to use it as politics. But honestly, I feel like with all the missteps the government has
Okay.
made, they in the first 2 years, I've seen clear signs and indication that they are on path, and they can and they will be able to make some significant impact. That after their 6 year elapse, we will be able to point our fingers to some of the great achievement, and then some of the things that they are doing now that we haven't seen it or we haven't have it like it going down to the ordinary people yet. They haven't benefited from it. I know in years to come, or 1 or 2 years, we will start to feel those things, and then we will start to embrace and understand that this government
Okay.
are doing the hard part, the heavy lifting of their government at the beginning. So that's why they are so infamous right now. So once the groundwork is done in the latter part of their government, you will see all of this work that they have done come into fruition, and then you will try to understand that they're ready
Okay.
on path for success.
All right. Thank you. I will comment later on some of the things you said, but let me get Dr. Wallow some time to talk, because I think what you just said. I think it would be unfair to CDC, because CDC first term with Josh Weah, the first 2 to 3 years was COVID. It was national something. Is what affected the entire world. But let me get Dr. Waters some time to talk, and then we'll
COVID
come back
came
to that.
2021, and
Yeah,
So
yeah.
go ahead.
So thank you, Joe.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, as my brothers were speaking, I was thinking, where do I start from, right? Um, because I think we forget so quickly that this is not Unity Party's first term. This is their third
The
term.
third term.
Okay, so I agree when someone said that we cannot compare 14 years of national leadership with 6 years of national leadership. It's not 2 years, it's 14 years. Okay? Joseph Walker is just the continuation of Unity Party's leadership, national leadership in the country. So let us not forget the first 12 years of Unity Party's governance of the country. But yeah, it's it. If because most of my my fellow panelists that spoke, the great Josh Weah administration as a failure. You want to compare a failed administration to what workers supposed to do? I don't understand that. Why we are bringing ourselves so low like that? Why are we bringing the bar so low? We are comparing an administration that failed the country to that of what President Bouakai supposed to do. But here are things that we need to keep in mind. When United Party first took over leadership of the country, there were 15,000 unmail in our country. And by the time Joshua came into power, unmail have left the country. Do you know the international support that came in our country because of unmail? Unmail was in charge of security. Liberian government not paying unmail. Unmail was doing everything in our country. 15,000 troops were in our country. When Joshua took over, unmail have left. President we have to put into place national security measures. Okay? He was starting from scratch when it came to security. However, the economy was bad. Ellen did not leave a vibrant economy. Ellen left a very poor economy. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf said that the education system was a mess. She said it herself. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf herself said that one of the struggles she had being president of Liberia was Liberians' work ethics. She couldn't get people to do what she wanted them to do because of poor and bad work ethics. She herself, she said that Liberian economy was not booming. Liberia was not at the best place when Joshua took over the country. But Joshua was able to keep the peace. He was able to provide national security. At this time, Joshua had built the 14 military hospital. Joshua had built the hospital in Bapu, the Emirates Hospital. Yes. Joshua was doing anything. I'm not saying that the CDC had everything perfect, but I don't want us to compare this Unity Party administration to that of George Weah. Let us compare to what they could have done that they did not do. What George Weah could have done that he did not do. What Bouakai could have done that he did not do. What should be the comparison? We should not compare this administration failed and then we bring the bar to, okay, let's see what Bouakai is doing now compared to what George Weah did. That, to me, that is a false equivalency. We shouldn't do that to our country. Okay?
That is so true.
Because what is happening now, even just at a time, even during the war, the struggles Liberians are going through right now, they did not experience it. Right now, ask Liberians, go in the marketplaces, talk to people in Liberia. You will see, you will hear their responses. Things are not okay in the country. Yes, I will give it to you. There is some stability when it comes to electricity. But gentlemen, let's look at things in an holistic point of view. What is the condition of the country now?
what is the standard of people's lives compared to previous time? How are Liberians responding now? What Liberians are saying now? Let's evaluate those things based on what people are seeing on the ground. And right now, it's terrible. People are suffering.
Yes.
People are suffering to the extent they miss a failed regime, Jovia regime. They miss it. They wish Jovia could come back today. That is what you are getting from Liberian. If President Walker is doing awesome job, Jovia should not stand a chance of re-election.
Yes,
He
so we
shouldn't.
have 2 minutes. I'm already telling you
Dr.
5 minutes
let
now.
me, let me that's what I'm trying to say. So one fact too, somebody just pointed on Facebook. Now we're in the rainy season, so that's why we're enjoying current right now, right? So let's see the test after the rainy season. Let's see when dry season comes, what will happen to electricity in Liberia. Now, we have electricity.
But Joe, can I
pay
end my
for.
point and then can I end?
Okay, make a point.
Okay, let me just end my point. Look, when people campaign, when they present a platform, do you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, when people campaign and they present a platform, let's hold them to the platform and let's evaluate them based on their platform. Nobody put words in President Bwakama when he said in the first 100 days, there will be no children in the street selling gum. In the first 100 days, car will not be stuck in the mud. In the 100 days, Liberia will be rescued. What has been rescued? Just tell me one thing that they have rescued. Just one thing. I'm not asking for two. Just one thing. And we want to compare that to a regime or an administration who say it's failed, has failed Liberia. Come on, gentlemen, let us not do that. Let us evaluate what they could have done compared to what they did. That should be the evaluation. Now us evaluating a regime that will
also,
turn
also doing George, we are
to that
doing
of President
George, we are
Walker. These are the
also
people
doing
that
George,
take
we are
time.
term.
A second.
Even
Take
doing
time.
George. Oh no, George, we are term. So there was a reduction
Joseph.
in inflation. Yes.
Joseph,
Yeah.
just before, I mean, just give me 30 seconds. I just, I understand the emotions that the water spoke with, but it's important that we make some correction. That the water talk about at this time, the Emory Hospital and the 14 military was built. That information is incorrect. The Emory Hospital was built in 2022. It was dedicated, and the 14 military was dedicated in 2021 September. So that was after like what, 4 years? 4 years. Okay, let's go back talking about the people are suffering. What yesterday you used that people are suffering? People taking pay on time, unlike George, we have time where people couldn't get a salary for months. The economy was shattered. George, we have to a very good economy from Ellen. Ellen made a reserve from Julie Bryan of 0 million. George, we have made 80 million in the reserve. To come out and say that he took a bad economy, no. Liberia economy was at a hard time high when George Weah took over. So it's important to get this point right. You want to talk about George Weah? By this time, people were already dying. We couldn't get the trace of why people were dying. Auditors started to die. All of those things take into consideration. The security of the country was in a complete shambles. These are just common things that you look at. These are the bread and butter issues. To come here and want to praise, and I think it's being fair to Joseph Boakai for us to be compared, to take Ellen failure and bring it to Joseph Boakai. I don't think it would be good that we do that. But even if we want to do that, Ellen took over a country that just came from 14 years of civil war. There was nothing. There was nowhere to start from. I understand that she came as a Harvard graduate and the expectation was high, but it was tough. There was nothing, zero. She started on a zero platform. And when she was leaving that country, she left it as a democratic country. She left a structure, governance structure. They created all of the government commission, the LACC, and the PPCC. All of those things did not exist. And those are things that make government functional. So that give credit where it's due. You just talk about it. I didn't see what the success you live on the Georgia government. I didn't see no success.
But
let
be frank here,
no
though.
success.
I agree with you that Georgia government failed. But let us not compare a failed government to that of Joseph Boakai. I hope you will also mention how President Boakai have been very, very
weak on crime.
how he have violated the Liberian laws, on a consistent basis. I hope you will mention that. Okay, the rule of law. President Boga have violated the Liberian Constitution so many times. I hope you will
Example,
mention that. Let
for
that be
example,
part of his record.
for example, give two instances. He said so many times.
Yes, so many times. I should give two instances. The tenure positions. That's one extent, and then the Supreme Court ruling concerning the former speaker. That's two. You want me to go three more? President Boga has already failed Liberia.
I got a question.
He already failed the country.
I don't want to. I don't want. Now you on the spot, right? Because you're trying. Maybe you got some questions I want to ask you because so you making some very wild accusations here, and maybe you have some information that we are not privy to. So maybe can you give us some clarity on it? As you spoke about the saga at the House of Representatives, what would he have done, right? He's the president of the country. He's the head of executive. He has his budget, which is his operational tool, to be sent to a group of people, right? And the people are in argument, they are in fight, but they still said, "Oh, we have quorum and we have our purported leadership." So what did you want him to do to stall his government and let them face their issue, or to work with the current legislative politics? Is all about numbers, and the people that were present, they were more than the people that were absent. So what did you expect him to do in that life?
But
Yeah.
but gentlemen, let be real here, right? When Ellen, as you guys mentioned, when Ellen took over the country, okay.
Bro, let me respond to your question. You can come last.
Okay,
Thank you, sir.
go ahead. Dr.
So
Waldo.
the very budget you talk about, the budget is a law. Okay. Um the legislature, the legislature, what they do is primarily they pass legislation. What President Baka number one responsibility is to enforce the laws of Liberia. That is the number one responsibility of the executive arm of our government. When the Supreme Court says that what these people are doing is against the Constitution, you enforce that. That is the oath you took. I will protect and defend the Liberian Constitution. When you don't protect and defend the Liberian Constitution, the very same Constitution that make you legal, when you violate that, you become illegitimate. You failed the country already by just doing that. If a common citizen does that, what will we do? We will arrest them, we send them to court, and we put them in jail. A president of the country did something like you say that his government supposed to function and what of that. There were so many other areas that he could have done something. The Liberian presidency is inferior. President Boga could have done so many things other than violating the Liberian Constitution. That's exactly what he did. Now let's go to the 10 law.
Can I step in 1 minute, please?
Can we come in?
Dr.
Hold on,
Waldo,
Can I
let
step in 1 minute, please?
let Christian, Erin, come here a little bit. Christian,
Can I finish my?
Yeah,
yeah, Dr. Waldo, you finish your point.
Pastor Waldo finish. Let me come in
Okay, Dr.
because
Waldo, just 1 second, 1 minute, or less than that. So Christian can
Yeah,
come in.
Because he didn't answer my
the
question.
tenure law, that he and Ellen, president and vice president, proposed to the legislature that they passed. He came into office. What the first thing he started doing? Violating the same laws of the country. And we all heard that. We all heard everything that President Baka was doing. Okay, we heard it. It's not in secret. So this president has failed Liberia. He has failed to protect and to defend the constitution of the country. And to me, that in itself make him an illegitimate president. If he cannot abide by the country's constitution, then you are illegitimate because it is the constitution that make you legitimate.
All
Okay,
right,
I could go
gentlemen.
on and on, but other people have to talk.
Okay.
Let get back on this
Let's
on this
get back on
accomplishment.
track.
Yeah, accomplishment and some criticism. So, Christian, you want to
Let's
go
get
first,
back
and
on track.
then maybe
Yeah,
Edwin can chime in.
let me come in. You know, sometimes I feel happy when young generation are coming up to say, you know, try to criticize and brainstorm on our economy, on our political arena, and as well as some happenings in our country. Uh, all is because of the growth of technology nowadays. It's not that what is going on, some of it never used to happen, but we were in darkness at the time. We now in AI generation wherein even a chicken is fighting down in a village, people put on Facebook, you see it, you seeing it, and you know what is happening. Uh, and what is now spoiling our country, from my understanding, is this too much of political party, CDC or UP, CDC. The country is bigger than those two parties. What I mean by that is that we should not allow people going in our country inciting people with little or nothing to come and spoil government. Like you said, Pastor Water, we cannot compare a failed government with a sitting government because Joseph Baga still got time to go. Joseph Baga still have time to prove himself. There are some projects that are still ongoing. Like just my colleague Sam was talking about road issue. Joseph Baga failed road. Joseph Baga have not failed when it comes to road construction. If I can tell you one instance is that from Ganta to Tabata, what is there? I was told, which I can give is an evidence. People will look at it and tell you that there's a road going there. That one make when Tata says Zoe was saying that the price is price control in Granjide is because of the road network. We got quota now reaching in Tabata. And all is because of Joseph Barker, but the platform was begin from one leadership to another leadership.
Yes.
So normally somebody who earned is somebody the person who gave credit to. And it's ongoing. So by comparison, if you look at Joe has some pluses. He had plus. We say Joe taking a country more like Ellen Johnson said it. He said Ellen set up a good economy for Georgia to take over. Yes, she did her part. Ellen has to do what she got to do. But seeing Ellen come by and tell us that she feel on education. Georgia came with free tuition policy.
Yes.
You don't look at these and say, okay, Georgia came with free tuition where you are paying grade 9 and grade 12, WAG, and people are going to government school, we say free. Did that not work? It worked for him. Joseph Boga came out with his policy. Even though he did not fulfill the 100 days policy, or what he said you're going to do in 100 days, but it's an ongoing process. So comparing these two leadership, and we say Liberia is high, yes, of course, but the whole war is high. I can tell you. Even you are saying the United States, some things you used to buy, it's not like what it is now. So if we sit down there, people coming on Facebook, like people living in Liberia in good condition. Some of them are living good life. But I was seeing politicians. I was listening on Facebook the other day, the CMC, one of this guy party, he go in the community telling people that if you bring 12 people, I'll give you this amount of money. What kind of propaganda is that? Is that how you're going to win people? Because you're trying to give people money to go and do things that they're not supposed to do. Then the person will come and say, okay, y'all go and do this one. Y'all go and tell the people, say, this is what's going on. And whereby it's not the truth. Look at the U.S. rate now in Liberia. Prices are now going down. U.S. rate is going down. Things prices, I think over the past month or so, President talked about reduction in price, in the price of rice. It is true that reduction will happen, but if you cannot just say prices should reduce and start today. No, because there are people who bought a rice at a certain price, and those bargains have to go down before you can even start, or before the prices start to come down. All of these things is an ongoing process.
let me
So we cannot compare the two governments, to be
let
honest.
me let me
Let
let me
us
come
think
in.
about the way, I'm
Let me
coming 1 second. Let us just think about what can Joseph Walker do better? And we think about, if possible, one of the questions here is, say, can another political party be of relevance in Liberia? Yes. We can look all of those.
so
Thank you.
this is my take on this whole issue with UP and CDC. UP have the longest ruling time, okay, especially with Harvard graduate Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, 12 years in ruling. There were a lot of corruptions in her government as well, and there were a lot of good things in her government. Okay, well, set up some road constructions that were going on, and then George Weah came and completed some of it. Now, that's one thing we need to do as Liberians, to have a national agenda where we'll be able to address issues. When one president leave, when one political party leave, we continue that project. Now, I will go back to say this. After Ellen ruled, when Ellen got into power, what are some of the good things that happened to Liberia? We had a debt relief, okay? Liberia debts were relieved. Well, we're not paying no debt anymore. There were a lot of investors coming to the country, and that what even measure there were security apparatus in the country at that time.
Yeah.
For,
All
Ellen,
that
for
was
12
there.
years. 12 years. So George Weah did not. So the Liberian government were not even providing security for themselves, but this government provides security for the country. So you have a security apparatus that came from outside the country, so the country was stable. Okay. Now, Eddie, I think what Eddie missed out here was she had the opportunity to change Liberia into what she wanted Liberia to have been up to now, but she didn't do it. I think she went purposely to embezzle money, or just would be the first female president in Africa. Now, she missed out on the education system, infrastructure. She saw it. She's an educated woman. She saw how early were depleted. She saw all the high schools. She saw roads. She saw the infrastructure. She didn't do nothing with it. But look what her son did. Look what her son did. Look at what where she put people into powers. Look, they failed us. The 12 years of Ellen Johnson said it was a big failure. Now, if it was a good thing, Joseph Boakai would have continued her legacy and moved on with it. But Joseph Boakai too. Let's be fair with Joshua here. Joshua first 2 to 3 years of a term, pandemic. Okay, he has a lot of things he struggled with. Now, let's look at our military and our police size. We can't provide security for ourselves. Look what happened to the country right now. Look, honestly speaking, I will say this again, and I'll continue to say this. UP fail us, CDC fail us. We don't need this party anymore. I think personally, George Weah, like I said, his greatest accomplishment for CDC is turning power over. That's his greatest accomplishment. Now, when it comes to recreational parks,
Why would you say achievement when they win the man? The election was
what I
free
was saying,
and
but
fair.
it
They
was just
win
less
the
than
man.
1% of a vote. He could have called for recount. He didn't
If
do
you
it.
go for election, they
No.
win you. It's not achievement, my brother.
No.
They
He could have
beat the
called for
man. They beat the man.
recount.
100% agree with you, Christian. 100% agree with you.
Joseph, for you to even say that there, you shouldn't be saying that because he didn't
Somebody
do,
have a race, the person
he didn't do like bro, okay, what he lost, and they even try to cheat. The margin was even way
But
bigger
Joel
than that.
did not try to cheat.
They cheated
Joel
to reduce
conceded.
the margin just to take shit from their
Joel
faces, man.
conceded.
Don't be saying that.
Joel conceded.
He had to, because we were voted out. He had to.
My man. So I think well, we should start beating Joseph. What Jovial did unprecedented in is Africa is Liberia. There's a whole lot he could do in that period because we have seen people, leaders in Africa being in power for 10, 20, 30, 40 years and don't want to leave power.
That's
what
true.
George Weah did, if you did the right thing, but at the same time, there's no issue commending
What
him
you
for
say
doing
about
it.
Ellen too now?
But Joseph Boakai did that in 2017.
Wow, man.
Joseph Boakai did that in 2017. Joseph Boakai
And did
conceded.
you know that as well? That Joseph Boakai, that the whole AU and ECOWAS, they came to Liberia and they said that they couldn't give Liberia to George Weah because everything was going to retrogress. All the straps that were made by Ellie, and Joseph Boakai said that he said he's not going to allow no blood to be shed on him, and he considered in his
But that's
concession speech.
good thing.
Right.
That's good thing for them.
Right.
They love the
So
country.
it's not,
They love the country, but
they
they're not
can't
doing
deliver as an achievement. All the men did for himself was to build houses, and buy private property all over the world. That's what
Baka
he
doing
did.
exactly the same thing, my
What
brother.
Baka is
Baka
doing?
doing exactly the same
What
thing.
Baka is doing?
Baka is not doing that. Baka is not doing that.
What horse
Baka
he
is not
built? A
doing that.
retirement horse he
You saw the
built?
properties in Foya?
You see, that's the thing. We should stop. We should
What is
stop
it?
making all the kind of insinuation.
But you don't have any information on
what are you
that,
talking
my
about?
brother.
We should
What
thank
God
God
is
that
saying?
we should thank God that our country was taken from CDC. Otherwise, we would not be talking what we're talking here today.
Exactly, the country was at the lowest
People
all-time
are looting,
low.
people are looting the
All-time
country
low.
for themselves.
Doing everything. And then
But
you see
UP,
some
UP
kind
are
of
doing the same thing too.
progress being made, and then you sit on platform. and
Right
then you
now,
say,
they're running
yes,
propaganda to go buying power because to go steal. Because some of them send a left power. They don't have job. They're passing around.
Gentlemen, can we look at the alternative now? There was another.
There's no alternative.
Okay, yeah, let's go to the next question. Gentlemen, let's go to the next question.
Before you go to the next question, let me just say this.
Go ahead.
Let me just make my point clear. Okay, my point here is, if we all agree, right, or if majority of us agree that the 6 years was a failure, we shouldn't compare failure with the present government. Okay, there should be no comparison with that. Let's raise the bar. President Walker said he was going to do certain things. Let's hold him to that. Let's grade and evaluate the success he's going to have based on what he promised the Liberian people he was going to do. Not what George Weah did, because if we go by what George Weah did, then we are saying President Walker should be a failure. Okay, we are bringing the bar too low for this administration. We already graded the president. We have administration as a failed administration. Let's hold this administration to what they said they were going to do. They came to rescue. Let's see what they can truly rescue. I think that's my point. Okay, I'm not a sedition. I am not saying President Weah did.
Dr. Wallo, I support you for that because I support you. It's true. Let us not do the comparison because it will be a shame to you bringing the prestige of Unity Party down. Those parties have done their part. They have left the seat. Let us see what our current leadership is doing right and wrong, and see what the platform we can lay to move forward. Then they'll be comparing with CDC that have already failed.
But the whole thing. The reason why I just been listening to the guy. The whole thing is an oxymoron. So you have these guys that put in themselves on these pedestal. They claim to be the highest educated, and even one of them ascended to the highest of education, which is Ellen Johnson. Then he brings Joey out and he said the man is dumb, he's a countryman, this that. But you guys are achieving exactly the same result. So I can't compare the two people. Like I have a financial mind. If you want to do comparison analysis, there gotta be concrete facts that you gotta point to that it can be well sourced. So it's just very hard for you to do a comparison analysis on these two people when they're achieving exactly the same result. I can't do it. That's how I'm just watching your talk and you're answering your own question going back and forth.
Yeah.
What's the result? The same result. The country, like both of them, they're doing stuff out operational manual. So they're just doing things all over the place. It's not organized. That's the same problem with how George Weah. So they may say you're doing like electricity because the railroads are flowing, the dams is running good. So yes, it's rainy season, electricity is going on. He did a little bit of road between Ganta and so it's the same thing. So what were you guys saying all this thing about George Weah when you're the same exact thing? You don't have an operational man, you don't have a big bold movement to tell you, we're going to be here this time, or this is what we did to schooling. Now the youth are going to school. We're targeting, we're fighting with the private schools now. The private school fees is going down a little bit. The Achilles heel for any country, Achilles heel is education. That is not being prioritized, wasn't prioritized by George Weah, wasn't prioritized by the UP government for 14 years. So both of them have the same exact result. They're not going to yield anything. We're just going to be talking in a liberal sense, going all over the place. And once in a second, you're going to point out the U.S. rate. You're going to point out the little thing. There's nothing mean or concrete going on. If you have a reformation education going on, And you say people are getting educated, or we send these people places. When they come back, we're going to use these brains to do stuff. My brother I spoke in the beginning when you're talking about agriculture. I really like all the things you're making because these are the job creation. Talking about agriculture, all the places are job creation area. But there's no bold movement for the both people. So you said, Joe, we are sleeping is a countryman. Okay, we agree. You guys are educated people. Why are you guys achieving the same exact result? That's my
So,
problem.
so let me come in real quick, right?
Mama, let me kind Joseph, please. Let me kind 1 minute.
Go ahead.
Please. Let me kind. To be honest, they are not achieving. They are not achieving the same results. There are a lot of strides being made, and there are a lot of things in the pipeline that will come to fruition in the near not too distant future. What you fail to understand is that we say in 2 years this government is practically or 1 year 10 months. January will make it exact 2 years. Okay, that you know. Do you know that we receive a lot of agricultural equipment, and they have already building different ports all over the country to serve as a hub for agricultural products. There are strides being made, and these things take time to be created and to be built. It's not a process. It's not something.
It does take time, but the way you are saying here on the internet, that's not what the Liberian person is experiencing. So I was talking, it's not.
Let me
You,
learn.
it,
Let me learn. Let me learn, please. Let me learn. Let me learn. There are things that you or leadership can speak and happen, and there are other things that will take process to happen. Okay, and the bigger things are taking processes to happen to face road. You're not just gonna go and wait to go down the road. People closer to the road, you gotta negotiate when you gotta do a whole lot of different things. So there are processes into these things, and these things have to happen for this to happen. Okay.
what I'm telling you, brother, that whole road facing thing is not defined. It's not defined because no. The road thing is not defined. They just doing it willy. They're just doing it willy nilly. It's not defined because it this what no. It this what defined. It this what no. It this what defined. It this what defined. No, it does what define. You know the part of get on a loudspeaker.
We have
It
to
what
bring
this.
in the America who living here today. They 540, they 540 who drive on all the time. How many times we don't since I moved to North Carolina, machine have been on the road facing the road. Okay? So these things are processed. These things are
No,
processed.
brother, you're not even listening. No, you're not even listening to me. When I said define is
How many years it took to
no,
build a farm?
no. If it's define, this.
A documentation to that effect, and it wasn't given. How you look at
No, it's not documentation. Can you listen to me? This is not. It's not about
It
documentation.
was not
Well,
defined.
well defined would be like.
talking about?
No, well defined would be like we are dedicating the road fixing to the entire southeastern Grand Gita right now. And this is how many jobs we are creating along the way. And this is our endpoint. Like just like when you drive in the suburb, when you see a building, they put a picture over there. They tell you say
Listen,
it will be
this
done in
information,
2026.
this
It's not
information,
defined.
no, you
All right.
don't.
So you do it. So okay, you agree with me. It's willy nilly then. You don't because you don't have it.
Because what you're saying is completely being ignorant of the fact of how government works and the workings of government.
No, you have to define your plan, bro.
1 second.
This is how people get elected on zero. You got to
Edwin,
define your plan.
1 second.
People-
1 second.
Uh,
1 second. Most times
Are
in
you
Western
saying the
countries,
road
right,
construction
when
like Broad,
when
there's
doing
no plan?
construction,
Yeah,
when you
you're
do
saying there's no
when you do
plan.
a proposal,
Before the people even start, before you even get grant, before
Have you
even get
seen a plan? Have you seen a plan?
support, they have all their
Do
compliance
you
checks
have a
to
plan?
meet, and you have to
Gentlemen.
meet all those compliance checklists, and you saying they don't have plan. Why would you
Gentlemen.
say
Where is the plan?
But other people intelligent. That's you think you the smartest person on earth, or you?
Wait. Where is the plan, brother?
The road from
Where
Murphy
is
to
the
Ghana,
plan?
what the plan?
Don't
The
do
road
that.
from
Don't
Murphy
do
to
that.
No, there gotta be a. There has to be a
Gentlemen,
plan, bro.
Gentlemen, let us stop
speak to
talking
the
over
issue.
each other. Let us stop talking over each other, please.
So it'll be 5 or 5 to
Titus, I
5.
know
Yeah,
you are making your point, but Edwin, I think when we're doing this stuff, we should be respectful of others, and let somebody give the points, and everybody can state their own points, and then we can make interference from there. So I would suggest that we don't do
You
any
took my
kind of
time.
attack, personal attack.
Can I take my time back?
Yeah, I will
I've
give you
been
a time
listening.
back.
The
I
whole
will give.
topic I've been having, I've been listening for
May I
almost
take it?
45 minutes. I wasn't saying
Okay,
anything.
Can I
gentlemen,
continue my talk because he
gentlemen,
interrupted me, please?
gentlemen. Okay, Titus, we'll get you 1 minute 30 seconds, and then we'll get Edwin 1 minute 30 seconds. Please, we don't want to be.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
we don't want
gotta
you
give
guys
me some
interrupt each
minutes too,
other.
please. You gotta give me some
Yeah,
minutes too.
I'll give you time. Christian, let Titus make his point.
Okay, so here's my point. There, like I said earlier, there are some, when it comes to development in the country, there are some that takes time for us to see, and there are some that will go by the maybe executive order from the president. I want this to be done, and effectively, immediately it starts, and we start to see the impact. When it comes to development, there are a lot of processes. So for the agriculture, the people went to a meeting. They had a lot of different meetings, and they broke the country into different smaller units. And they said we will build these ports, build these places. So when we get this agricultural spot, we bring the product here. We'll be able to store the product. So these things are being worked on. They're building the places, the hubs, the different hubs, and they're bringing equipment. A huge number of agricultural equipment were brought to the country and will be stationed to these various hubs to be able to facilitate the agricultural activity. So this is not a 1 year or 18 months or 20 months program. It's something that will roll on all the way to 2029 and beyond. It has to be done right. For the
Okay.
roads, before our international partner give us their money, there are compliant policies that is set that those things has to be met before their money can be dispersed. So it's the onus is on the government now to go and do those compliance to make sure we are in compliance before the money can be dispersed. Before you guys say this money has been released or this has been signed, obviously the partner have already done due diligence and made sure that everything that
Okay.
that was on the part of the government that needed to have been done was
All
done
right.
and was done to the T before
All
they
right,
can be
Titus.
able to
Titus,
disperse
thank
the
you.
money.
Titus, thank you for making a clarity. Edwin, we're gonna give you 1 minute 30 seconds, make a clarity, and then I'll make a comment, and then Christopher Fuso can um, have his 1 minute 30 seconds back. Then we'll allow Pastor Ward. But before I go any further, well, we got CDC and just joking. Sergeant Montgomery is on. So, gentlemen, we still have enough time. So we
Hey,
got.
Joe, nephew, my man.
So-
Joe, nephew.
So we will ask this man question too as well. So, Edwin,
Yeah, I
1 minute 30 seconds.
maintain, I still maintain that the Georgia government that was for 6 years and the alien people that have been running for 14 years are achieving the same exact result. Uh, they out here, I was a critic of Georgia. Everybody was saying Georgia is retrogressive, everything they're doing it willy nilly, but you're doing the same exact thing, and you're supposed to be the so-called elite people and stuff that know how to do things. You said like you don't have to announce to people. This is what we're even here in the first place. This is why we're talking about these because these people will just get elected based on zealous pomposity. They'll just go and ask zeal, gallop on people and say that, oh, this is my platform, this I want to get it and start doing all these little before you go to the whole years over, nothing is done. And the country is very bad and we're talking about the country. So I still maintain UP and CDC, they got the same exact result.
All right, thank you, Christian. For now, that the water go, and then we'll ask
You see,
Sergeant Montgomery to comment.
I would not say these two people got the same result because United Party under Joseph Boakai government is work in progress. So it's a process. It's still an ongoing process as compared to that of CDC that have passed. So all of these things we're talking about comparing this government with that of this government, we should be talking about what is the way forward for our country. Now that we can come and speak, now that we can come and express our grievances, no matter what part of this world you are now, you can speak up, people will hear you. And I know more people will hear this as we speaking all at this time. So when you talk about no platform, my brother, I think before you come up with a project like Tara was saying, yeah, you gotta write. My man, what y'all not disgrace Liberia like that. Even your own build, your own cell house you want to construct, you got a plan. You cannot just come out and start putting house down without plan. So the government has a platform. They have a blueprint of how this road should be. What part of this world you can see? Even we in the advanced country, man, you go on the street, you see billboard there with the construction of what they want to build there. It's in our country like that. Let us start disgracing Liberia like that. And my prayer is that Joseph Yuma Baraka honor the leadership of Joseph Yuma Baraka. He should listen. He should listen to the people. Let him don't mind some of the crooks he got here in government. And I like the way he's doing it. When he hear this person is doing this, he lay you off. And this is what Jawia failed us. Because why? When Jawia was in power, people complain. He was not doing nothing. He was like a dummy who don't even say nothing. He sat down there, the boys were looting the country. People like Jefferson Koji then. Like now here saying he's going to school because he's going to school to come back to power. I need to stop these things.
All right.
If Jawia had listened to the common people that he went to serve, today you are not going to be in mess. As a person, Jawia as a person, he got a good heart. Personality-wise, he's good. But if you link yourself with a bunch of rogues, they say birds of the same fellow fly together.
Thank you,
That's
Christian.
the kind of people he had with him.
Thank you,
Misleading him to do the wrong thing, and he
Dr.
did
Wale.
not listen to the Liberian people that he went to serve. So at the end of the day, the mess that was created, he's going to be taking it down. And where
Dr.
are
Wale.
they? They're going on their own. They
Thank
pass
you,
their
Chris.
wire.
Thank you,
coming
Christian.
back.
Dr.
No.
Waddle, we'll get you one. Yeah,
So
we
even
can,
though I think
I know-
Jesse just come in.
I know I'll get in time. That's why I want to get Pastor Waddle
Even
talk
though he
first.
ran
Then
away,
we'll go to Jesse. Don't
he
ahead.
can run away.
Pastor Waddle,
Run away.
1 minute,
Yeah,
1 minute,
so
30
Bro-
seconds
Bro
to
Joe,
kind of
thank
go
you.
over what we just said.
Thank you. You know, when President we are took over the country, after a few times, I challenged the CDC I challenged them to publish President Weah's schedule for the past 6 months. Let Liberian people see his schedule. Let Liberian people see the kind of work he's doing that are scheduled, that are documented from the executive mansion. I'm challenging the Unity Party as well. Put up President Bwaka's schedule. Let's see what he's working on. What is he scheduled to do? Put it up for the past 6 months. Let's see his schedule. Look, after 6 years, we'll be right here and we'll say, oh, President Bwaka did this, President Bwaka did that, President Bwaka did one. The same thing we are talking about, President Weah. There will be no important strategic change for the Liberian people. Nothing.
Okay.
It's not going to happen because of the things that we see them doing. You don't have to wait for 6 years for you to see what's going to be the end result of it. The Unity Party people criticize President we are about harmonization. The reason they are paying, the reason they are currently paying people is because the citizens harmonize. They pay. They haven't reversed that. Today, the University of Liberia is closed. Okay, they can't get it open, and this is the second time under this president. Okay, it has happened. Look, there will be no strategic change in the country under this president because the president, he does not have the vigor, he doesn't have the stamina, he doesn't have the strength to do it. 2017, I supported President Bwaka because I thought, he could have continued where Ellen Johnson Sirleaf left, or since we were very close to power. The president doesn't have the strength to do that anymore. We will just say after 6 years, we'll come right back and say, oh yeah, he did it when he did it, yeah, he did it. But there will be no strategic change in the country. And guess what? Liberian people will lose another 6 years. That's it.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Waddle.
Nothing going to happen substantively that will change anybody's life in our country.
Thank you, Dr. Water. I just want to make this point very clear, right? So with Unity Party and CDC, and I think we should kind of take a note on this too as well. Whenever a party is re-elected, it's a continuation of the party. So I personally think that Unity Party should have had a blueprint of the country already that they want to see done. even if they have their next presidential candidate to come after 4 years, I mean, to come after 6 years or 20 years, they should have that platform, or they should have that program already set, so that when the next person come in, they take off from there. So you can have somebody coming out of political party like Joseph Boakai coming with your own idea on how you want to move things, apart from the Unity Party own idea. I'm just saying now, but it's a continuation of the party. Now, I would say this, and then I will ask Sergeant Leo Montgomery to go on with his comment too as well. Now, CDC is a big failure as well. How can a whole political party don't have a headquarters? They lost big time. Can rule, can guide, can protect the citizen. And the same thing that happened under Joe government is worse under Joseph Boakai government now. The killing, you've just, I mean, my violence, it's just all over on the street, and nobody is doing nothing. We're watching Liberians killing Liberians on live television. It's sad to see those things that the country we grew up in, me and you grew up in, that we're on the, beyond the house playing soccer, running around doing things, to see that kind of a barbaric act happening in Liberia. We should be sad, for that country. We should be ashamed of ourselves and seeing these things happen. Now, our political leaders should be held accountable for all these things that are happening. They are meant to protect. Look, if Unity Party, I can bet you this, their arrest agenda is a beautiful agenda. If they follow the agenda for 15, 20 years, if they rule, I can tell you Liberia will transform. It's beautiful. Just read it. The arrest platform is awesome. Only if Unity Party will say, let's execute this as our national agenda to the country. So before we go to the next question, Sergeant Montgomery, I know you came in late. We're discussing accomplishment of Unity Party and CDC Party. So we're doing contrast. So, and we're also talking about criticism. But I know you came in late, so I thought you were escaping the start of the program, but you came in the right time too as well. So you just want to jump into a different program, but I guess you're here now. So, what are some of your thoughts on UP and CDC accomplishment and criticism?
Can you hear me? Good evening.
Yes.
Okay. CEO, please do me a favor. I want you to please put Sam on the screen.
I about to do that. Don't even hear you.
Please put them on the screen.
I about to do that.
And maybe Christian as well.
Christian?
Listen, the man already late. Can you go ahead and talk and start getting late? Because you can't come to the church, you so that's it.
CDC.
That's it. We're not fall into your trap. Go ahead, lay a point.
CEO, let me greet our listening audience that are watching us, that are following us. Once again, I will say thank you all. And I want to extend my apology for being late. I was taking care of a family emergency real quick. But my fellow panelists here, CEO, Titus and Sam, when I see them performing arguments, I feel proud because these are my students, But one thing they fail to realize is that the professor can never teach the student all of what he knows. So when they come face to face with the professor in this kind of argument, I would like to apologize for the political damage I'm about to cause right now. CEO, do I have your permission to unleash my...
You do.
Okay. It is young lads like these that are running on different platforms, speaking on things that they don't know when it comes to what CDC has done and is still doing up to today. Like I said, we have been there, we've been tested, we've been tried.
But you could be there. Who headquarters?
When CEO, am I protected?
Yeah, you protected.
Again, when I see my students, trying to challenge the professor, then I need to put them back into school and give them a political lashes, which I'm about to do. How dare you ask somebody like me or any other person, what has CDC done? Are you kidding me? Are you living under the rock? Do you know what question you are asking, Sam, my student? Let's name it. Unity Party, under the leadership of the Senate, supervision of Joseph Boakai, 12 years. Couldn't pass nothing that we see for which CDC had to come in And you all sit here, you know, of all 6 years, 3 years was interrupted. It took a George Weah to stand up and say, you know what? In these times, Liberia will be lifted high. Now
Are
let
you
me
doing
give
for the
you
for the sixth current meeting, all right?
CD, CEO. I was very calm. I was silent. Tell my students to be quiet, please, while I speak. The professor is on the stage. You don't interrupt. When I politically vandalize you, they will say, oh, that man came for his students, and I'm not ready to do the platform. This is a small platform for me. I submit. When it comes to the first thing that CDC did was the peaceful transfer of power, which you and myself will agree that had it been Joseph Boakai and the cronies of the United Party, they wouldn't have done. First credit go to CDC for that. And George Weah, who you claim is non-educated, but when it came for the peace and stability of Liberia, he handed power over easily. So he's not power greed to say, oh, he won't come back. No, he had it and he gave it. Okay? This George Weah was the one who secured funding for the coastal highway. Today we are flying left and right on the coastal highway that built under George Weah. Today, no credit. We won't see what CDC has done. It took CDC, guys. I understand the rhetoric, but you can never look. I'm built for this. I'm built for this. It took George Weah to declare tuition free in Liberia. The United Party came, they destroyed everything for which LU. Students are not going to school today. The evidence are there. CEO, I would like to tell you that it took George Weah to invest infrastructure, training provided for teachers and for teachers training, even the nurses under George Weah, the nurses, the nurses' pay went up. The records are there to prove it. Examination fee, it took George Weah to go into his pocket. You want to tell me for me to tell you what George Weah did? AFL under George Weah, AFL was well dressed. Today, when you see AFL, their shoes all under the boots. You can't even tell AFL from that of a beggar under the street. CEO, let me again. These are my students. I wouldn't like to go too hard on them because it will not be fair to them. But CEO, let me just tell you that under George Weah, Liberia was able to microeconomically be stable. Before CDC came into office, the national budget revenue was 30%. Under George Weah, it became 7%. So we say three years of work. You want to talk about the roles that people are applying? Of course, we know that government's continuity, but give a man of flour. Okay. Lastly, when we talk about the domestic revenue, CDC had passed the largest remaining budget. What do you want to tell me? Oh, they didn't do nothing. But you see the cronies of this United Party, you sat on the outside, criticize everything that you claim you are coming to do rescue. Now you are even done worse than the people you came to rescue. Now who is to be rescued? Look, there's a written record and there's a proven record. They say, oh man, who has done good to you, your life will always be in that man's hand. Let me tell you something. George Weah know that he was going to go against the like of Joseph Boakai. So what he did, he wanted him to be in the best of health. So he's saying in the hospital, I cannot go against battle. Let me go against my student. And it's not fair to them. I want them to be up to my edge enough to be able to argue on my level. Right now, I can't blame them because I didn't teach them everything. So is Joseph Boakai. This man was frail, dying. And George Weah said, no, at least somebody who was healthy enough to come on the stage with me. Send him to hospital. When he came out, we have seen what he's doing. Turn it back on George Weah. The man airport that he decided to build, the man came back in the country. You turn your back on. You want to know? You still want me to go ahead and talk about what George Weah has done?
Okay,
There are lots and many other things that I can tell you about.
Pastor, what
I
is
will not take people that have trained
right.
the likes of Sam and the likes of hold on, CEO.
Sajid,
Please let me just mention in 1 second.
Okay.
In 1 second.
Go ahead.
What George Weah has did in the 3 years. Now we're counting 14 years of the United Party. They are yet to show me one thing that they are done. Everything that you are seeing them showing now is all work that has been done by George Weah. I submit.
All right. Thank you. But you did not get any criticism of the CDC government, though.
The professor taught every one of us. Thank you, Professor.
Look,
The
let me tell you something.
professor is
No,
being
no,
Let me
no,
finish
biased.
this.
Are you going
that,
to
that,
sit here and tell us that Joria sent Joseph Baga to hospital that achievement there for the
it's an
country?
achievement. He
That's
gave
He
the
not
didn't talk
president life.
nothing about press control. He didn't talk. He didn't give nothing
You talk about the
tangible.
persistent
All
corruption in
you
the
see,
country.
Can
The
I come on?
poverty
Can I
man,
come
continue.
in?
You talk about
you
inconsistency
CEO,
man,
in
you have
welfare.
5 minutes.
You talk
You
about
have more than 10 minutes to say. You said
CEO,
nothing
I seen the
tangible.
young lads are
what
not
You
the
didn't
being
give
patient
nothing
enough.
tangible. That's
I
sad.
need 4 of you guys to
That's
sit
sad.
with me
what
on
the
a round
coastal
table so
highway
I
you
can
talking
show
about?
you
What
all.
the coastal highway you
Which
talking about?
coastal highway you say we're flying again?
CEO,
Where's
if
the
you want
coastal
to talk
highway?
about if CEO asked me a question, if it was George Weah who sent your president to hospital, without George Weah, your president would have been a dead man.
What
Where's
a
the
great
coastal
achievement there.
highway you spoke of?
It's an
Where's the
achievement.
coastal highway you
He
spoke
gave
of?
your president life. He gave your
Brazil,
dying
you go and
president
send
life.
somebody to hospital
Where's
then
the
that
coastal?
achievement.
Where's the coastal highway?
When you want to talk about the healthcare sector right now, honor or George Weah, look at the 14 military hospital.
Where's the coastal
Eh?
highway?
It's for you to go do your research, my young student. You come out to class, I will show you it. That's your
Stop
test.
laughing, man.
I'll show you a test. Go do your research and come back and argue with the professor. I'm trying to
My
tell
man,
you something.
But you
Professor,
didn't
you
talk about
keep
the
that-
high
Professor,
corruption
you
rate
keep
in the
that-
country
you
under
keep
the
that-
Jawara
you
administration,
keep
right?
CEO, you asked me if I should critique the job we are led government, right?
Yes.
Hold on 1 second. This is my, and I'm not saying, I'm not a citizen. I'm not a citizen. I'm just a fact teller. When it comes to my disappointment, when it comes to the George we are led government at the time,
No
was
way.
failing to stand up to his minister when they did wrong. And some of us call him and say, look, you got to govern that country because we have put our lives on the line. So those are some of the things that we are really disappointed on. And you know what? Today, the massive battle cry that's in the state of in the streets of Monrovia, our daddy will sorry, our daddy will sorry. So this man is not fighting to come back. The people are largely crying and declaring that they want a George we are back.
Because they got
If the
no
people-
hope. Well, hope better than rely on
I'm happy you said that. They got no hope.
hope that CDC.
Hey, my brother, you just
got
what
Use
is the
this for
point?
the whole
See
argument,
you all-
right?
we have submit.
crying what job we are back?
See you all
Use
submit.
this for the whole
Get your
argument.
rhetoric. Who crying at what job we are back?
See you all
Christian.
submit.
All right, gentlemen.
The man said a street cry for Jawara.
And this is a
All right,
unity
gentlemen.
party.
Gentlemen.
Christian, I
Gentlemen,
thank you.
okay, so we're gonna do this, right? We're gonna do this. We're gonna give everybody 1 minute. We're gonna give everybody 1 minute to respond to Sergeant Leo Montgomery. Please, 1 minute. If you hear me talking, then wish me, your time is nearing. So, I would go to Titus and Sam first because Jesse wanted to approach them. So, gentlemen, do you guys have any response for Sergeant Montgomery? 1 minute each.
Y'all calling for me. I can't speak.
To be honest, it saddens me for a Jesse to come in with a whole lot of energy, and we were expecting him to give us some facts, some concrete things that was actually done. He kept going around saying things that off record they are not true and they are not even tangible. If you talk about 6 years and then you take your achievement is free school fees or whatever that was, you take free school fees, but then you did not invest. Are you talking about free school or quality education? Which one are you talking about? You talking about police uniform? Was it under the same George Weah government that the AFL they protested? There were a whole lot of fight over there. You talked about all the things that you talked about that were based on facts. When we speak of things, we point to things that is being done. It was during your government that we saw people standing in long queue to buy rice. It was during your government we saw people standing on long queues to buy fuel oil and gasoline products, right? It was under your government people took 1 week or they had to either fly or go to Africa and come before they can make it to the southeast. And you guys, shamefully, your leadership had to do that. Unlike this government, people can leave from Monrovia now in the morning and get to Maryland and then come back before the 24-hour elapse. Okay? So when you come on this platform and you really want to teach your students, come with facts because your students are here to check to fact check you. Please.
Thank you, Tyler. Sam.
Thank you. Thank you. So let me apologize to our listeners. I want to say it's unfortunate that somebody will come and will give them over 5 minutes to provide absolutely nothing in defense of the so-called political affiliation. I'm sorry to the listener. So let me just go straight. Jesse spent a lot of time saying nothing. He claimed to be the teacher or the professor, but at the end of the day, I think um, we the students we are very very much disappointed. You talk about free tuition. Public school have been free in Liberia for the past 30 years. Public school have been free since I've known myself. So I don't know what you talk about. Joe, we are wearing hand and pay wire fees for 12th grader and 9th grader. So just for you to be corrected, that was not public school tuitions. You talk about coastal highway. Joe, we are promised of coastal highway. There have been no coastal highway bill or even work that started under the CDC regime. In terms of the coastal highway, talking about from Buchanan through Sano to Grapefruit to Maryland County, there'll be no single pavement. Your government promised that. You want us to talk about a president that would leave his people for 45 days to go watch his son play in the World Cup? Just it. And you are proud of that. You want to talk about auditors dying over the years and there be no investigation telling the people that they should get security camera for themselves. What's the rule of the government? I thought part of the rule of the government to provide um, security for the people.
Okay.
You proud of that? You want to talk about that? You talk about Joseph Barack going to hospital. That's his benefit as a former vice president. You consider that to be
All
an
right.
achievement for a whole government for 6 years. Our president are able to go to hospital. Say another vice president from the hospital. You want that to be an achievement for a whole government? It's
All
so
right.
unfortunate. We not sit here just say that you come and misinform the Liberian people. We got to put listening on this platform and it depends on us.
All
So
right.
it's so important that you come here to misinform. But again, not to go further, I'll tell you that the CDC administration, what it says yes, as you
Yes, sir.
listed, no tangible, and that's a fact, there be no tangible. They did nothing. What is
All right.
true, there are lapses within the Unity Party led administration that we mentioned before you came, but I did not get no credence to CDC administration.
All right,
Thank you
Sam.
very
Thank
much,
you.
Joe.
Appreciate appreciate that, Sam.
Yeah.
All right. So
Can,
we're gonna
can I respond?
allocate
Can
one
we
minute each to
can we come into?
coming. Yeah, your time coming. So Dr. Waller will go first, and then Edwin, and then
No, no, they
Mr.
refer
Fiso.
to me. It's only fair for
Then
me
to
to respond.
Jesse back. Yeah.
All I want to comment what you said, then you respond to everybody. Let's look at it that way.
Okay, okay.
So
I like that. I even like
Dr.
that. Yeah,
Waller,
go ahead.
Bro, Joe, thank you.
you work.
I was laughing a lot. Listen, that's all we can get from the seditions and the
The
UPs.
UP.
That's all we can get. Uh, we trivialize people's lives in the country. You know, uh, we make big about little issues. That's how low we have come. That's how low we think about our country. You know, Pastor Kraman usually say, "Well, I'm not a sedition." Well, he might not be a sedition, but I think it's a reaction. Who have said practically nothing about what CDC did. The same thing with Unity Party people. Liberia need to move on from these two parties. They have nothing to offer us. They have shown their best. Their best is not enough for Liberia. I appreciate President Weah's service to the country. I appreciate President Bouakar's service to the country. They only have agendas. They don't have a national vision. We need a national vision. Agendas will not take that country anywhere. An agenda should emanate from a vision.
All
We
right.
need a national vision. They have nothing to offer. What they have offered so far is not good enough. And I know that is their best. They did it with good intentions. But good intentions doesn't build a country. Good intention doesn't build an economy. Good intention doesn't put food on people's table. We need people that will build a private sector that will provide jobs.
That's what Liberians need. For us to take people from poverty, it's not whether police people wear good shoes or not. It's not what we need a private sector job. We need people to work. Last week I said one of the things that changed my life in the United States, when I knew I could work for my own money, I never needed to depend on anybody for me to provide food for myself or pay my rent. That changed my life. We need to give that opportunity to Liberians, to Liberian youth. And one more thing, Roger, for seditians, as long as President Weah is doing fine, all Liberians are doing fine.
Thank you, Dr. Wallo. Edwin, 1 minute, and then Christian 1 minute, and then we'll go back to Sergeant Montgomery. Sam?
Well, I'm not gonna need my 1 minute. I just gonna point out a couple of things. I do business in Liberia. I remember my posted fish double, almost triple on a weir. The ATMs ran out of money. The money centers ran out of money. The little system that Eddie Johnson had there in the little place, they broke all of it like in the in the first 8 months. So I would stop right there and go ahead.
Thank you. Christian?
Yeah, thank you very much, CEO. Sometimes I see when people are saying some things, you have to really analyze. Jesse, I'm very somehow a little bit disappointed in the fact that you cannot just go on Google and get AI view and count flatter all with that kind of stuff here. It's very sad. We need facts. You talk about because all the things living here is on Google. If you Google Jovial achievement, you see it. United Part CDC achievement, you see an AI view there. We talk about reducing 30%. These are not facts. Do more in-depth analysis of what is happening in Liberia. When you come in to teach your student, make research. Don't do research on AI because it will not help. That's one fact. And secondly, you talk about why we even come to about police uniform, man. Have we come so low to our country that you talk about police uniform to be an achievement? Our people are suffering. We're talking about people suffering. Talking about police uniform, stabilization. You talk about the economy was stabilized. U.S. rate at the time. What was the rate at the time compared to what we got now? If we want to criticize like I said from the beginning of this show, these two people who cannot right now compare. I'm not talking about Ellen Johnson time. I'm talking about Joseph Boakai. Now I'm not a UP. I'm not a sedition. Our country is beyond political party. We should be talking about something different other than CDC and Unity Party, because our country is beyond that, and this is what bringing the fight in the country. People need to graduate from that. You cannot be depending on Jowea alone. If Jowea fall down, God forbid, that today, why CDC here? They're gone down. Who you get there? Nobody.
All right.
So we need to stop those kind of things. Who the competent man guy in CDC that you come today? He said without Jowea, they can stand up and say, I will be president for CDC. Name me one. Is that Ascara Gray or who you got there?
All right, Christian, thank you. I appreciate it. Sergeant Montgomery, you want to respond?
Thank you, CDC. CEO, I'm not disappointed, but I feel we have a lot of work to do, especially me as a professor, and expect my students to know better. That tells me I still have a lot of work to do. But let me say this, CEO. When I see guys sitting here and challenging me that everything I'm
calling you CDCO.
Yeah.
CEO, I was very quiet. Can I speak?
Yes, go ahead.
You see, when I see my students out here telling me, say, oh, professor, you got to come with facts and evidence, then that tells me that I have more work to do. CEO, I did not go online to prove to you that there's a 14 military hospital in Liberia right now as we speak. CEO, I did not go online to tell you that today our children in Monrovia can come outside freely because there's a PHP park and there's a invisible park for them to play. Those are tangibles. CEO, I will not sit there and lie to you, say under a George Manning we are. Our nurses, our doctors, even teachers, their pay went up from $90 to $150. Those are facts, is there. I don't need an AI. I was at 14 military hospital. I saw it. So for you as a student to accuse me that I went online, you just demoralized my reputation. I'm very surprised. A man that people will look at and say, yes, this man will want to idolize and model after. You limit me to AI, my brother, when you know what I can do politically in terms of making a case. You subject me to a Google. The facts are right there because these are first hand. Look, you see, I like when the guys talk about this killing auditor. You know what? They say the burden of proof is lies upon the head of the accuser. You guys claim George Weah and Jefferson Koji killed 3 auditors. Now you are on the seat. Bring them to book. You have the judges, you have the police, you have, in fact, the entire magistrate is in your hands. What happened? It's been 2 years. But you know what, CEO? It's shame. The things are there. But who will give credit to George Weah because at least was expected of him? Nothing was expected. The guy was written off. So I'm not surprised when people say, oh, we didn't see tangibles when it is there. The first free flow of traffic lights is on George Weah right now. If you can move from Monrovia to Neighbor County under 4 hours, which used to take you almost 24 hours, and you still tell me, say, on this platform that people are watching us, are you kidding me? Or Joseph Boyka, who went to China, came talking about $3 billion. George Weah went to Qatar, he came out with $10 million for which the 14th military was erected. You still want to talk about evidence, my people? Look, you know what? Look, this United Party people, they cannot perform nothing. They don't have nothing to give. So all they will tell you, there are no tangibles. This guy offered free tuition. Then you say, oh, it was there for the last 14 years when parents couldn't even pay their children's school fees. But you get a mind. But you see, they say, show me a leader and I'll tell you who you are. Or people who has no moral rectitude, who can sit down there and be caught speech from the president who gave him life. You still want me to give you evidence? I wouldn't want to go there because I'll be below the belt.
All right,
but we sit down here and look at people like Daniel Sanders to come say that, like all this United Party can do. But you cannot make the argument they revert to insults and stuff. Right. Look at what they told Donald CEO. Give me a second. I was alone by 13 people right now. We are making the case that you don't have to be debted to come and speak into our political discourse. Daniel Sanders came up and demoralized or Alexander Cummings. We are trying to speak on these things. Then he says, show me what Joey has done. This United Party people has nothing to do. All they will do is to insult their way. You insulted your way, and now the people are seeing right through you that you have nothing, no tangibles. All Joseph Boyka did, now he's building $10 million homes in Lofa. Go to Lofa. But you were sitting on the other side yesterday talking about, oh, Joey is building these homes. CEO, when you put everybody 1 minute together, at least that will equal to my 6 minutes. So it will be unfair to me.
Yeah, you do that. All right, gentlemen, thanks. But I just want to make one thing clear here. With Christian comment he said about Google and stuff. We all use Google for research paperwork. So you go on Google, you find information from there. Information.
But Google, you should always have other sources.
I'm just saying, but the way you said it, like
you
people
don't
on Google, they getting wrong information.
Christian, we don't waste. We don't go too far with them. We understand the limitations.
Get information.
So
gentlemen, it was a good exercise. Now, I'm just going to ask this question real quick, and then we can spend maybe 5 or 10 minutes on it and be done with it. Can CDC and UP form a common ground? Yes or no? Just 30 seconds response. How? Can CDC and UP find a common ground?
Bro, Joseph, can I come in real quick,
30
please?
seconds. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, 30 seconds. No, we cannot form a common ground. You know, a president who vow on a public stand, say me, I'm willing to dance with the devil. It means you are associated with the devil. That's why there's no good coming to Liberia. Because you see, light and darkness will never commit. George Weah is a praying man. The CDC is a praying party. We have nothing to do. Our hands are clean, as a matter of fact. So anybody who will come up and say, oh, I dance with the devil, then you say, can we have what that to come on? What's the commonality for us to talk about or do?
I thought you were not a seditious. Now your hands are clean. You're a praying party.
When I say we have a common hand, those of us that
now we know you are a sedition. I thought you the men are George Weah cousin.
Well, that's fine. If you want to, equip me to them, that's fine. But we don't dance with the devil.
With the party, then they can say the non-sedition.
So, Pastor Wallo, 30 seconds. Can CDC and UP form a common ground? How?
Look, the common ground that CDC and Unity Party should have is Liberia. How we all can work together to make Liberia better. But it is good for oppositions. Okay, it's good for the ruling party to have opposition, but the opposition has to be intentional, right? It has to they have to keep Liberia's best interest at heart.
Good.
You cannot be what you criticize when you are given the opportunity to serve, and that's what the opposition have become, most especially as it relates to CDC and Unity Party. Today, CDC is in opposition. They are criticizing everything that Unity Party is doing. You give them the opportunity tomorrow, they will become exactly what they have criticized. This is time for Liberia to move beyond CDC and Unity Party. They have given us what they have, and what they have and what they have given is not good enough for our country. We need other leaders to step up and actually give us a new direction.
Okay, thank you. Edwin, any common ground? Can you suggest any common ground?
The two parties are aligned, but they pretend very well. So no.
Okay. Christian, can they form any common ground?
Yeah, just to add up to what my brother said, the common ground we have in is Liberia, but then when it comes to these two parties, until they can accept the fact that we are doing it in the interest of our Liberian people, let us leave the parties in and focus on Liberia as a common ground.
Makes sense.
But with the way things are going now, even we have foreign enemy, one of the party can even say Liberia, and I know the citizens are capable of doing that.
Oh.
So there will be no common ground until the two parties can come. Oh yeah, I'm being honest with you. These are people who are so able
so you're
for
saying that UP cannot sell Liberia, but
I'm trying to say,
CDC
you see
can
the
do
way
But that's what you just said.
Okay, I'm coming. Yeah, I said that when a man is something is running behind, when there are ways, I don't know how to phrase it. CDC is hungry.
It's wasting our time, man. That's the same political jargon. Yeah, you got nothing to say.
CDC is hungry. Those guys are hungry to the extent that they want to come back to steal, to continue the stealing. Because some of them they thought that they were going to go for second term. So they did not steal much at the end of the day when they got them out of the way.
Some of them say we did not steal much.
They don't record.
Christian,
Up to today, some of them don't even have a job.
Christian,
because
okay,
they thought they were going to go second round.
Let's go to Taras and Sam. Can UP and CDC find a common ground?
I'm not sure when you say common ground what you mean.
Why can't they meet?
There can be no common ground. But before I go further, let me just reference say something to Dr. Waddle. Dr. Waddle, you cannot continue to speak and have your hands behind your back. Then we will not know what is in your hand for us to do a proper evaluation. You said you may have mentioned at least 5 times over the last hour or two that Liberia need to move on from CDC and UP. But you have refused to provide your alternative. Provide your alternative. Let's put your alternative on the table and
don't do it. Sam, don't do it. Sam, don't do it. Don't do it.
When it comes to alternative, the man alternative that himself.
Don't do it. A political bulldog is here. Don't do it, my man. Don't do it. Don't do it.
We find common ground.
Don't do it.
We can't continue to say so. I be there's no common ground. These are two parties with two different ideologies. These are two parties with different set of people with different mindsets. People saying they are the same. They are not the same. They are not the same. You have one world, bunch of criminals, bunch of people who put their interest first, including the leader, building for the 600 million in the first 1 year, and could not even build a party headquarters, forget about Liberia, and today they're calling the big party headquarters.
All right.
These are two different people with different ideas. There can be no common ground.
Thank you,
with
Sam.
Unity Party and CDC. So they're not waste our time. I think we'll find time to discuss part of what opportunity.
Oh, yeah, we'll do that next Sunday.
Yeah. Well, but and then if Paola cannot provide an opportunity, then we will not be having a conversation again.
Okay.
Well, I can provide it for you right now.
Go ahead, Paola.
Why you pushing the bed button, my man?
CEO, can I get 1 minute?
Let
No,
Taras go. Let Taras say what we get
No,
from a
Sarah,
common
Tara,
ground.
finish.
Taras.
No, that is
I mean, you want me to talk?
Go ahead,
Go ahead,
Taras.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, but like Free said, man. So the two people, the two parties. I don't know when you said common ground or what you trying
So
to
what
say,
I'm driving
but
at is what is a common ground
uh-huh.
because every the two parties are running to rule Liberia. So what is a common ground can they form the both of them? Where can they
So
meet?
to be honest, they are the two alternatives, and they will. I think they will. They for the next maybe 2 to 3 election cycles, the president of the country will come from out of those parties, so they will continuously go along ahead. So there's never going to be a point where they will meet at an equilibrium because CDC will always have what United Party wants, and United Party will always have what CDC wants. So that we cannot, if we say we're waiting for the day where they will come together on a table, even if both of them are in opposition, I doubt that they will even be able to work together against the, the party of the day.
Okay,
So
so
I think that's
this is my take on it, right? I think all the political parties in Liberia can come together from a common ground. The common ground is Liberia, so they're all running to change Liberia lifestyle. So I just think if they get Liberia at heart, then I think it's the common ground there. And one other suggestion I can make to Liberian political cycles are like all the um, registered political parties come together and sit on a table at a conference or something and plan Liberia future, like infrastructure wise, national agendas. At least if all political parties come together and form a national agenda for 30, 50 years, that every ruling party will come and take after that agenda. At least we have something to develop on. But gentlemen, I think we pretty much fast
I
spare
want
right
to, I
now.
want to one
At
minute,
this time,
CEO.
huh?
You promised me 1 minute. You promised me 1 minute.
Okay.
Remember that.
Give her 1 minute and
We
then
need a
Jesse.
two
So
parties to stay in Liberia.
give her
you,
one
you,
minute.
you,
We'll give you the 1 minute, and then we'll ask Sam. Sam, you think you close the show for us today? Closing remark.
yeah.
Okay. So Jesse, you'll do your 1 minute, and then gentlemen, and then we'll turn the show over to Sam for a closing remark.
you know,
so we're not closing
We
before
can do that as
Sam
well. Yeah,
does
we'll
the
close.
final closing.
You will close, and we'll do that. Then Sam will do the closing.
so am I doing my closing remark now? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
I mean, which I can do. It's all fine
Yeah,
with
we
me.
gotta just close. Everybody get a closing remark.
Yeah,
Okay.
Jesse.
Is that what we're doing, CEO?
Yes.
Okay, so let me just say thanks to our viewers. Again, sorry for coming late. Family come first. But let me take my fellow panelists here. CEO, a common ground cannot be found between we and maybe another political party, but not the cities, not the United Party people. See, I just want to ask my fellow panelists here: is Liberia a Christian country?
Nope.
Yeah, yes.
It's not a Christian country.
I say yes.
Is Liberia a Christian country? I just want an answer from the entire body.
No, but for me, it's yes.
Okay, thank you. I think
I
that's
would
already
say I would say Liberia is a religious country.
Christian. I know. I specifically call Christian because I know where I'm going. Is
But
Liberia a
there are
Christian?
Christians, there are Muslims,
Okay.
there are Buddhists, there are other
No, I know
religions.
that it's a religious country, but people equate Liberia to be a Christian country. I just want to ask if Liberia is a Christian country, then I would start descending. Anyway, I understand it. No need. A president, a certain president who can boast of dancing with the devil, and you and myself know what part the devil play on this earth. How can you tell me, CEO, that there should be a common ground with good, loving Liberian people who are godly people who are seeking the face of God, and you have a leader to stand on a platform to say, I am willing to dance with the devil, and yet, CEO, you want to subject the peace-loving people.
Jesse, that was a literary comment. You can
No.
Oh God.
No, don't tell me you want to dance with the devil. It's a literal comment, my brother. Don't do it.
I see somebody say I better dance with the devil than the
Don't
angel. I'm not
do
saying
it.
does
No,
that
no,
mean
no,
man?
Christian, stop.
no. I will not take that from you. You think LeBron is a joke? You think LeBron like joking ground
Let
where
me
you
give him a
can
closing
devil me
statement,
and
guys.
so the Bible is exhibiting it. Because everything he's doing, witch hunt after witch hunt against his predecessors. That to tell me that yes, you are willing to dance with the devil. A man who built his the airport, the private security, the private VIP lounge. Just forget. Tell me if that's not the height of witchcraft. The papi is so vindictive. He's look. The papi anyway. We don't expect anything to come from the
Gentlemen,
kind of
let
papi
our
anyway.
remarks short, please.
I'm making it. But I was interrupted. I was just interrupted. These are the United Party people that JMB, the guys are making. Look, nothing good will come out of our country in the next 6 years, my brother. So we all of my hope, we are close right now. I want you to brace yourself. We will not look. I don't want to put Alexander Cummings in there because it will not be fair to our doctor. But please, all of you get ready for the next term of a George Manewia that the masses are crying for right now. Our Father, we sorry. Our Father, we sorry. I submit. Jesus, thank you for the time.
All right. Christian.
Yeah, thank you very much. You know, just when you know, yeah, come in.
If you come for me, I will respond. You come for me, I will respond.
Mama, you finish with your closing remark.
I'm just saying.
You finish with your closing remark. You know, when let me correct Jesse on something.
If you come, you see, the man come for me, I have the liberty to respond.
Okay, give me
you can't correct me, my brother. How will you correct me? What moral grounds you have? We are the United people. Then what moral grounds you have to correct me?
Please.
Okay, let me tell Jesse
Christian,
something.
45 seconds, please.
Yeah, as African, we normally speak in parables. We speak very idiomatic expressions that we all know. If a person tell you it's better to dance with the devil you know than the angel you have not seen.
Okay.
That's an idiomatic expression. That literal, it has a literal meaning. So if the man says better, if he says it's better to dance with the devil, it doesn't mean he's a devil. It doesn't mean he got killed human being. So you cannot be dwelling on that. But anyway, that's how you understand it. But I don't want the public to be moved by that. But anyway, on a closing note, I want to tell you, thank you so much, CEO, for giving all the opportunity. Like I always say, it's good for young people to come together and brainstorm each issue that goes on in our country. And with this discussion, we come up with better solutions and see how our leaders can desist from some of the things they are doing. Because as the people cry, if they listen to the crowd of people, something better will be done. And to the president, the current leader of our country, he's there, he's listening, he's seeing what people are doing. The people are crying, we need this, we need this. Let him not play deaf ear to the people, like what Joshua did. Let him listen to the people cry and let him try his best possible way to come to the people's solution, to find solution to the people problem. Thank you very much, and thank you to all of my panelists for giving all the opportunity to be here.
Thank you.
God bless you all. Thank you.
Edwin, 45 seconds, guys.
Well, you cannot comparatively analyze two entities that are yielding the same result. So, in essence, there has to be an overturn, right? So, analyzing these two people and trying to get a better result out of it because both people are aligned. One was a hooligan, the other person is a gangster in suit. And it's like liquor store in a poor community, wine spirit in the suburb. No difference. They are yielding the same exact result. We need an overturn. We need an alternative to step in. We need to kick the table down, kick the door down. So that's the only way we're going to have change in Liberia.
Thank you. Guys, like I said, I have less than 3 minutes to leave for work. So,
Less than
30 seconds, 45 seconds, please. Dr. Waller?
Yeah, well, I think Sam can just close, but just quickly to my brother Sam's, inquiry about, what's the alternative for me? Alexander Cummings is the alternative.
Finally.
And we can have a more
You'll
serious
be here
conversation
next week.
on that next week.
Yeah.
I support you, Pastor Wallo. At least you move in a good direction. I support you.
All
When
right,
you
guys.
end, just say clappy, man.
Thank you,
When you
Chief.
end,
Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right.
All right, guys. Think that water you done?
All right.
yeah, go
All
ahead,
right.
Sam.
Go ahead, Sam.
All right. To our thank you very much, our many listeners out there. We want to say thank you. Those viewing via with our Facebook and viewing also by YouTube. Want to say thank you for being with us. This is Action Required Media. We come on every Sunday. We want to say thank you for being with us. We appreciate your feedbacks and all of your comments. Continue to give us those feedback, and we look forward to see you next Sunday again. We want to say thanks to our CEO, Joseph. We want to say thank you for affording us this opportunity to come here to provide our unfiltered views on both political and social issues. And we want to um, say that all of the views listed are solely individual and does not represent any institution or organization. I want to say thank you to all of the panelists that are going to come here, take up the time on Sundays to provide your opinion on issues related to Liberia and the rest of the world. So say thank you, Dr. Wado. Thank you, Edwin. Thank you, Christian. Thank you, Tatos. Thank you, Reverend Jesse. We want to say thank you. And we look forward to coming back here again next Sunday to provide you with another good conversation. Thank you very much. And you all have a wonderful week.